What's up guys, Simply Coco here and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build. So we are building an evergreen harbor today in the Port Promise neighborhood, and I am building a kind of multi-use community lot. It's called the Pop Box. It's based off of a venue in I believe London that it's the same name. It's called the Pop Box, and I didn't really look too much into what the place was. I just saw it. I just came across it on Pinterest, looking at like different pop-up markets and pop-up cafes and stuff, because I got the idea to do like a pop-up location when I saw, I believe, Miss Griffey do her pop-up cafe. I believe it was, she did it on this exact same lot in Port Promise, I believe, also. But I wanted to do something a little different, so as I was looking for different reference photos, this came up. And when I went to Google to look at some as well, and sometimes, like in some of the photos, there was like a crap ton of people there and they were dancing. I could see like a live band playing on the inside, so that gave me a club vibe. There was also like a kitchen that you could pick up food from, and picnic tables and small dining tables. There was a bar. There was one photo where the inside they were selling clothes, like it was a little thrift shop. So my kind of idea of this lot, not in The Sims but in real life, I feel like it's a place that kind of turns, like every so often, it changes what it is. Like one day, for 2 weeks it's a nightclub. For 3 days it's a thrift store. For 2 days it's a pop-up cafe, and I think that's why it's called the Pop Box, because it can kind of be turned into whatever. So I thought this would work great in The Sims. So as I'm building it, I kind of switched through 4 different lot types: a nightclub, a bar, a retail store, and a restaurant. So it can work as all 4 of those things. The only requirement for a retail store is a cash register. So I put a cash register in the entrance, as if like the entrance to the club part of it. But in order for it to be a retail lot, you would have to put stuff in here and then set it for sale. So that's really up to you. So what I'm doing now is I'm using these barrels from Strangerville, and then using some debug dirt that I'm not sure where the dirt came from, like what pack, but it's just some debug dirt. And I rose it. Is that right? I lifted it up using the 9 key, put it on top of the barrel, and then put some trees in them to make it look like, to make it look like they kind of turn these barrels into planters. And then I'm just popping some trees around. I really love the aesthetic of the palm trees. The trees that I put next to the benches, though, they're actually in the actual like plant, like the potted plant part of debug. They're not in the landscaping part. I mean, no, they're in the potted plant part of the build and buy menu, and yeah, they're not in the actual. They're not the actual trees. They're not in the terrain part of the build and buy menu. So they don't change with the seasons. But I do size down some bigger trees just to make some of them look thicker, and those do change with the seasons. So it kind of looks funny a little bit. I would prefer them all to change with the seasons, but this lot is on the gallery already, so if you want to change that, just switch the ones, switch the thinner ones out for the trees that come in the actual build and buy catalog, the terrain tree section of the build and buy catalog. I don't know what to call that. But yeah, the ones I will actually change with the seasons, not the ones that are technically supposed to go indoors. So this little section is just more seating. This inside part, I kind of go back and forth on what I want it to be. So at first I have it as just an inside seating area, and then I go back and start to think that I want it as a game room, but it was just too small, so I end up leaving it as another seating area. As you can see, the colors have drastically changed. That's because at some point while I was building this, um, I did finally download Reshade, and I'm using a reshade. I don't know who it's by. If you would like me to tell you, I can look that up. Maybe I'll put it in the description. And also, if you have thought about using reshade or want to know what it is, I can do a tutorial on how to install it. It's fairly easy. There's quite a few steps, but it's fairly easy. It's just where to put it in your like game files is the most difficult part. But yeah, I just used looking at the reshade and then going back to what it normally is. Like the colors is drastically different. Like I've never really like noticed how dull the Sims 4 colors are. Like it's just crazy. But what I did with these other barrels just kind of around, I lifted some outdoor tables up to the top to make it look like they made it a table. And then I went in the debug menu for Eco Lifestyle and I put some fizzy drinks and empty glasses and stuff on top of some of the tables just to make it look like people are there and it's lively and you know, people are having fun and drinking and all this good stuff. The glasses and cups and stuff that are empty, I'm not sure if they will go bad and like start to smell and stink and stuff. If so, I'm sorry. I just realized there's only one trash can on the lot, and that is in here where I just put it. This is the kitchen. So ideally, I would want your Sims to come up to this window, order their food, and then take it back to a table. But in The Sims, it doesn't work like that. So you would have to make this a restaurant lot and use that host station to actually get seated at a bench, and then they would take your order, and the food would get made over here. Otherwise, this isn't functional. If you aren't using this as a restaurant lot, then I don't think this kitchen's even functional. And I don't know if you can hire a chef to come. And even if you can hire a chef, how do you order your food? That's my thing. Do you go straight to the chef and order it, or how does that work? Like if I kept this as a bar lot and I wanted to order food, could I hire a chef and then just order the food straight from him? I don't know. I guess what I could have done is put the university kind of food stall, is what I could have done, I guess. But I didn't. Too late now. But I'm just kind of cluttering up this kitchen space a little bit. As you can see, I probably don't have to tell you this because you can see perfectly fine. But I am building everything completely out of shipping containers, and obviously that's why it's in Evergreen Harbor and in Port Promise, because that's just the best place rather to put anything shipping container now. So while I'm finishing up this kitchen and this bathroom, let's just talk about this new like game pack leak. I can't not talk about it just because it's like what's relevant right now in the Sims community. I honestly have no clue what it could be. I'm hoping for like I don't think this is it at all, but I'm hoping it's a ski resort type thing, like with a world that it always snows in 100%. 100% of the time it snows, with like mountains, and we can build on mountains and we can build in the snow, and it comes with like snowy landscaping and a snow terrain paint. Oh my goodness, a snow terrain paint would be so great. But I'm really feeling like it's more so the Star Wars thing. which would be cool too. I for my gameplay and for my building, I'm more of a realistic type of player. I don't like to play the supernatural things. I don't like to play I don't want to play in space, you know, if it's going to be a space world, or if it's on a different planet or so. I don't play like that. I mean, I will when it comes out, but that's just not usually what I do. I Small announcement though. I'm my current Let's Play. After that Let's Play, I have another Let's Play in mind, and then a Let's Play that I'm doing after that is going to be really different and something I've never done before. It's going to be based around all the different types of occult sims, and I'm really, really excited about it, actually. I need to stop like planning my Let's Plays ahead of time, because then I get so excited to do them, and then I'm like, okay, I need to hurry up and finish the Let's Play I'm on so I can get to that one. But yeah, I really feel like, so let me just say this so I can get back to the build. I really feel like it's going to be Star Wars themed or Star Wars inspired type thing. And other than that, we could all be wrong, or you know, they might have done that on purpose. Because my thing is, every now and then I keep going back to the gurus Twitters and the Sims Twitters to see if they say anything about it, because usually like when something leaks, not just with the Sims, but like with anything, if something leaks or if there's misinformation that's put out there, like PR teams have to say something like, oh no, this is wrong, or no, or you know, this is right, but we're working on it, or something. So I feel like the fact that they're not saying anything kind of means that it was on purpose. So maybe they're trying to divert us from what's really going on. I don't know. But yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Anyway, back to the build. So this is the bar, the kind of the main bar of the whole lot. There does end up being one upstairs in the main building, but it's more so just for like the nightclub portion. So actually, when I went to take the screenshots, this is the bar that the CPU sim came and started to work at, not the one upstairs. For some reason, when I went to take the screenshots, I had it out on a nightclub lot, and that's just because that was the last lot that I was working on before I put it on the gallery, or before I finished building it. But on the gallery, I did set it as a generic lot on the gallery. So yeah, I don't know if there's a like specific search like option for generic lots, but that's what it is if you're looking for it on the gallery. My ID is simply Coco94. You can use caps or whatever to find that. It doesn't matter. Don't forget to turn on move objects before you place it, or things will either disappear or move. Yeah, that's the gallery spill. Anyway, now I am doing the interior. This is the biggest building, which I furnished as a nightclub, just because a nightclub needed all of these objects. But again, if you wanted this to be a retail lot, you could use this inside part to sell things. What I would do is leave the dance floor. I don't end up going with these dance floors because I didn't realize it was glass. So you're looking at dirt underneath it. I didn't realize it was glass until I tried to put it on the second level, and then you could see into the bathroom. So what I would do is just leave the dance floor, maybe move the DJ booth. You could even delete the DJ booth because I put smaller stereos around, so those would count. Those would still count, and it could still be, you know, a nightclub even without the DJ booth. So I would leave the dance floor, move the DJ booth, and then just plop stuff in here that you could put for sale. There's an office space at the very top, and I do put mannequins in there. So if you wanted this to be a retail lot, you could pull those mannequins down. That way you wouldn't have to buy them. You could pull those mannequins down, put them down here. I don't know how this works, but plop some clothes on them. I don't know how that works, but yeah, and then sell. So that's how I would do it to make it a retail lot. You just saw me put, I believe that's called a busking station whenever you have your Sims come and um, play their instrument or sing or whatever for just for some tips. Then I also put the cardboard dance floor just to make it look like maybe a break dancer put that there and they're going to be dancing for the people that are out here. So this is the inside bathroom. I use these neon lights just to make it look a little bit more clubby, nightclubby, and I really enjoyed how it looked. I really enjoyed how the pink lights looked against the green or the turquoise or the teal container wallpaper. I kind of made those neon lights like a theme throughout the entire club section or whatever. When I went to take the screenshots, I was going to change the colors of some of them, but I just really enjoyed the pink. This is the entrance that I'm working on now. So this is where you would pay to get into the nightclub, where you'd get your wristband, where they would check your ID to make sure you were over 21 and all that good stuff. I wouldn't imagine like for the restaurant portion or the bar portion or if it was a thrift shop for a day or whatever, I wouldn't imagine you'd have to pay to get in or anything. So that kind of entrance area is mainly just for when it's a nightclub. And it's really just for realistic purposes anyway, because it's not functional in the Sims anyway. Your Sims don't have to pay to get into clubs. But yes, and now I am just putting some pillars to, excuse me, so it has some structural integrity on the inside. That bar right there, it's from Strangerville. It's really cute. I like how rustic it is and has all the different like signs on it and stickers. I just thought since this was a container build that it really suited the place. So you just saw me put some tiny living chairs and the tiny living high table. I kind of just popped them around in some spots upstairs. So there's a second level dance floor, and then there's a second level bar. The second level dance floor, I end up getting rid of one of the tables and putting the university couches in black, and I just kind of make them a sectional kind of thing. Right here, I'm just looking for stuff to put on the walls. And I end up putting the first few university couches down here just because people would want somewhere to sit. Like if you were here and you were dancing and you wanted to sit down and cool off and you didn't want to go outside, you'd have a place to sit. I don't know why I didn't cut some of this footage out because I'm not finding any wall decorations, but here I am trying to find seating, and then that's where I went with these. It just made the most sense to me. I didn't really feel a certain type of vibe from this build. Like I didn't know whether it needed to be modern or what. It's definitely, I guess, rustic is what I was going for, with modern touches, because I feel like those tiny living tables and chairs could really look more modern, depending on what swatch you use anyway. But so I guess with it being a container build, I guess rustic was more so what I was going for. And then this is where, as you can, well, no, sorry. Earlier you saw me try to put the bubble blower in here, which is like the Sims version of a hookah. But it probably would have fit. Like I'm pretty sure they would have been able to use it, but it took up all of the room. So literally nothing else would have fit in here. So I just didn't like that. So I just left it as a indoor seating area. Again, for realistic purposes, just in case there was anyone that didn't want to sit outside. Maybe it's too hot outside. Maybe it's too cold outside. Whatever. So I just left it as seating and put some decorations on the wall and the get to work flowers in some of the corners. So now I didn't know what to do with these like extra spaces over here. So I was going to knock out some of the wood and put some flowers, but then I remembered these planters that came with base game debug, and I just thought to use those and fill those with flowers. So that's what I did. I used the same flower combinations that are, or landscaping combinations that are directly behind this lot. So to get to the debug menu, you type in you bring up your cheat bar, which is control shift and C, and you type bb.show hidden objects, and then bb.show live edit objects. Most of the time I don't type in the show hidden objects, because to get the landscaping that's surrounding the lot, you don't need the hidden objects. You just need the show live edit objects. And then once you do that, you go in the search bar of your build and buy menu. You hit shift 8, which will you hit shift 8 twice, which will bring up 2 asterisks, and then it'll show the 2 asterisks and then debug and then 2 more asterisks, and then you just click that, and then that brings up the menu. So yeah, that was me putting those plants in those planters. And now I am just putting some lights outside so it can be lit up at night. I just used some base game outdoor wall lights, nothing too serious. And then I put the dangling lights right here. These are from the toddler stuff pack. On the gallery next to this archway leading into the main building, you'll see a mailbox that came with University. That's only there because I needed it to change the season, and to I needed it to change the season whenever I went to take the screenshots, and I forgot to delete it before uploading it to the gallery. So there's no use for that mailbox there if you do download this lot. So either delete it or keep it. It's your decision. But as you can see, guys, the screenshots are rolling. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will always respond to your comments. And please hit that notification bell to know exactly when I post my next video, exactly when I post it, and I will see you all then. Bye.